patients than you can, and we're going to help you do that. So my love just for aesthetics grew into something I never imagined. I actually started making products then because I had patients coming in that had acne or rosacea or dry skin or folliculitis. And then, organic is a very common term now. Everything was very natural then. Everything was natural. Adding clinical in then, salicylics, glycolics, retinols was something new. Dr. Kligman from Penn had just found retin A, and it was really primarily used for acne. And what we found that it was okay for acne, but it was really better for wrinkles and fine lines and really warding off the aging process. So that's how my love for aesthetics grew into what it is today. And as we all know, it's a major thing. The things that I do now, I never dreamed that I could ever do, and they work. So that's where we are. So I think that in this pandemic, in the midst of trying to keep up, function, be stress-free, and navigate through it, I think there's some tools that you can do and use to make yourself feel better. Myra, are you there? Hello?
Sorry, I couldn't unmute fast enough.
Okay. Am I okay? Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. So I think we're going to talk about first about how to feel better. What are the things that you can do that are real things? Like I could say to you, I always tell people I am like a little scientific person that loves chemicals and the process of science and how to make yourself look better and feel better. But I'm also a girl that doesn't own a microwave and I shop at Whole Foods. So how do you marry those two lives together to make it better for you and easier for you? So I think the first thing we're going to do is, how do you feel better with a mask on all day? Do you have acne? Are you dry? Is your skin just so off and you just feel like you look bad? You feel tired? We're all overwhelmed. They're all real things to us. So I think the first thing is if you can start your day off feeling a little bit better. I don't have a lot of time. I own a practice. I own a skincare company. I am on the move from about 6:45 in the morning till about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So some of the things that I think everyone can do, and it gives you a little bit pause in your life, is one thing that is very holistic and healing and gives you energy and is good for your muscles and your joints and your skin, is to take an Epsom salts bath once a week. 20 minutes, take that time to yourself. The next morning, there's so much magnesium in it. The next morning, you'll wake up and you'll feel like, wow, what happened to me? This feels good. I feel some energy. I feel alive. My skin feels better. I don't feel so drained. I think that that's one good thing that makes you do something for yourself. Obviously, there is, with a lot of magnesium, consult your physician. I'm not a physician. If you're on heart medication, sometimes too much magnesium isn't a great thing for you. I don't probably think the bath can hurt you, but it's always good to just ask. Another thing that I do, and I tell my patients to do, is from a local farm is really best to incorporate 1 tablespoon of organic honey into your diet every day. I like it in the morning. I have a cup of tea. I'm a tea person. It cannot be in steeping hot, water, but let the tea cool down, or the coffee, whatever you like, the hot water, and just put 1 tablespoon of honey in there. The tablespoon of honey actually stimulates the body and increases your red blood cells. It's a really healthy, good burst in your morning. You just feel it tastes good in everything. You can actually just have it on a spoon. Sometimes I get it from a local farm and I just eat it on the spoon because I really like what it tastes like. And I have to say, over the years, I feel like I feel better. It's antiviral, it's, antibacterial. It's so good and healthy for your system. And it's something quick that you can do. We all want to join, that thing that makes us feel better. but do you have the time right now? You have kids at home, you have pets, you have a job that you're doing the job of 3 people right now. What are these little things that you can have at work or at home that make you feel better and give you energy and some longevity in your skin, your brain, your body? Sleep. It's a thing that most of us have a hard time. If you have a lot on your mind, it's hard to sleep. But don't discount, just like water and sleep. If you can try to go to bed, there's that bewitching hour with sleep. They say that the body rejuvenates itself into REM between 12 and 2. If you are not asleep before midnight, you're going to miss that cycle. So you want to get into sleep during that time, so your body does heal and does regenerate, even if you're not getting 8 hours of sleep. The other little trick that I have is, and I get them from Whole Foods, it's called hemp seed. Hemp seed, a lot of people are having coconut waters. Hemp water is a thing. They're trying to get away from juices and things like that with sugar in it. Hemp is a very good protein. It's packed with protein. It comes in a little bag. You have to refrigerate it after you open, but they're like little seeds that taste buttery and nutty, and they are so delicious. So my morning breakfast, if I don't have time to make myself a fresh egg or hard-boiled egg, I have a big cup of tea with the tablespoon of honey, and I eat the hemp seeds right off the spoon. They're so good, 2 tablespoons. I have them at work and I have them at home. I put them on my salads. I put them on everything because it's such a good source, a lean source of protein, and really healthy for your body. So they're kind of my tricks right now for getting through to do something good for myself that I don't have to spend a lot of time. I'd love to go for a walk in the morning. I'd love to do all those things. I just don't have the time. I have a limited staff now because of COVID. I'm working extra hours because we have delays. We have to take longer. We're in a mask all day, all of those things. So that's kind of my little bag of goodies that I'm trying to help myself get through and feel better. Do we want to open this time up for questions or anything before we go on to the skincare and other things?
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for that. I was trying to take notes. So hello?
Yeah, we
Can
can
you
hear you.
guys hear me?
Yes, now we
All right.
can.
I
Yeah.
said a lot. Well, thank you so much, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. I was trying to take notes because you said a lot of good information. I remember you mentioned honey. Was that raw organic honey that you mentioned?
You're muted, Beth. You're still muted.
You have to be careful with raw
Right.
honey that you could
Right.
take too much.
Mhm.
My honey that I get from the farm is just organic honey. So
Okay.
I could really consume as much as I want to. The raw honey, if it's from the mother, the queen bee, really there's so much energy in that. One of my friends got it at a health food store around us, and she was having like heart palpitations because she
Yeah.
ate too much
Whoa.
in a day. So I definitely think you have
Yeah.
to be careful what you're doing.
Okay.
But regular honey, like an organic honey, I think is pretty safe in any amounts. But it's it tastes good. It's easy and it's super, super healthy for you. Yeah. Organic. I would just go for the organic. If you want the raw, I think you just take a little bit each day.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I have buckwheat honey from the local farmers market, which is gathered locally. Does it make a difference in what type of honey you use? Is buckwheat as good as clover?
I don't know about that, but I would assume because there's wheat in it that, for me, I try to live a paleo diet. And right now I kind of live it and kind of don't. I don't know if the buckwheat would be a difference in the glycation into your system and how your body metabolizes it. I have the clover. So I don't know, maybe that's something, the place that I get it, it's a farm. Um, they sell a lot of honey. They do a really great job with their honey. In fact, I want to carry it for my patients because not everybody can get to a farm. I want to pass this on to people, but I ask them, or just maybe look it up. I can look it up for you. I'll write it down and see what I can find.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I can actually, there's two doctors that I follow, and I think in the beginning, it might be a little complicated. Dr. Mark Hyman he used to run the Cleveland Clinic for 20 years. And then he went on to open his own integrative medicine. He's just like one of these people you talk to or listen to. You can find him on YouTube. He talks about so much stuff. And in 10 sentences, there's a million things in there to change your life and better your life. Just tiny little shifts that can make a big impact. So I would definitely look into him and Dr. Andrew Weil, Weil. He's really known in our industry as the godfather of organic medicine. He's a trained cardiologist. And what he found was years ago, when you went to see a cardiologist, they just studied your heart and they just studied your leg, or, pulmonologist. He was really the first doctor that came out and said, you can't just study the heart. The heart's connected to everything else. So he really realized then that inflammation is the key to illness. Lack of inflammation is the key to health.
Right.
And that's what he is always trying to, his number one thing, if you go to his seminar, he says, if I could change the world today, no one would ever drink another soda, juice, fast drink, anything like that. It's like, it kills your knees. It's really bad for arthritis. It causes all immune disorders. He's water, water, water. So I think there really are shifts that you can make instead of worrying about going on a great diet and crash dieting and just start incorporating little things into your life. Because what happens is once you feel a little bit better, you're like, that wasn't so difficult. Let me do that again. Like the hemp seed really changed my life. I love it. I look forward to it. I eat it a lot. It's so easy. It's so easy. So those two doctors, I think you can find a lot about. Dr. Hyman is the one that says everyone should take a 20-minute bath a week. It does miracles for your body.
Where do you get the hemp seed?
I get it from Whole Foods. It's in a little pouch with a zipper and it says hold organic hemp seed. It has green writing on it. We're going to follow up with an email. I'll put one together and I can list where I get stuff. Let me just write this down.
And I missed, do you steep that in your tea? Is that how you consume it?
The hemp?
Yes.
No, I just eat it, or you could put it on a salad. I wouldn't put it in your tea. It almost looks like rice, or it's like nutty. It's buttery and nutty.
Does it look like quinoa?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. Yep. You have to refrigerate it after you open it.
Right.
I just, it's in a Ziploc kind of closure. I just open it and I put it in the refrigerator afterwards. And I have one at work and I have one at my house. So if I'm running around all day and I don't get a lunch, I have honey here. I can make myself a cup of tea and I'll just, eat the hemp seed right on the spoon. It is delicious. It's like one of those things you could overeat. It's so good. It really is. For hemp, it doesn't sound that alluring, but it really is good. It's very soft and buttery and a little bit nutty. It's really, really good. And I really, I have the hemp water too. We were talking about coconut the other night, coconut water, which is great. I don't eat nuts. So I have the hemp. Anything else?
You mentioned about the Epsom salt bath.
Mm-hmm.
How much Epsom salt do you put in? Is there a rule?
About a cup. A
Mhm.
cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you could take the Epsom salts and put them in a cup. And you could put 2 little dashes of lavender, oil, it's organic oil into it. So it smells nice. And that's also really good for healing your skin. It's great for your feet. If you stand on your feet all day, I know a lot of us come home at night and my legs are what happened today? You know what I mean? My God, what is going on? You get in the bath like that, you actually, your legs and your hips and your knees and your feet just feel so good. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Anything else?
This isn't on like the skincare or just the general health, but the metabolism. I've have a friend in the office who trained as an athlete, and he has this amazing metabolism. And he said that he starts with some lemon water in
Yeah.
the morning as the first thing before you put anything in your body. My question I didn't want to ask because I sounded stupid. I'll sound stupid to y'all. Is
Nothing stupid.
can it be concentrated or does it have to be a fresh lemon? I don't go shopping very often.
You mean like a fake little
Yeah.
lemon that you squeeze in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Needs to be a fresh
I'm
lemon.
not sure. I'm not sure about that. My gut is saying that it's not fresh lemon. I think that it probably needs to be, it doesn't have to be an organic lemon. Get a bunch and it'll probably last you a week. You know what I would look into, and this could be way off. One of the things in the pandemic, I very rarely use my freezer, but I have bought so much frozen fruit and organic vegetables, and it has changed my life in the way that before I always wanted everything fresh. Now I take it out, it's frozen, and I have fresh cauliflower. I have cauliflower rice. I eat cauliflower so much because I really like it. So maybe they have frozen lemon.
They do. They do. Wegmans sells those.
Yeah,
do.
so
Yeah.
I would kind of, yes, the water, that's Dr. Mark Hyman believes that you should start with fresh lemon every morning, and water just cleanses your body
And about
immediately.
how much lemon? I do water first thing in the morning anyway, but adding lemon to it wouldn't be a problem. About how much would you think would be a good kickstart?
I think it's like half of a lemon. Now, organic lemons are very tiny. They're not like a regular lemon. A regular lemon's twice the size an organic lemon. So I find with me in the morning, if it's too citrusy, it might, I don't want to say upset my stomach, but I don't love it in the morning. If it's too strong with the lemon, I would say a half. I don't think a whole can hurt you, especially if you're in 8 to 12 ounces of water. Um, Another trick I'm just thinking now that's a really good one is to have, oh God, apple cider vinegar in 8 ounces of water.
That also because I have ulcerative colitis, and that's a big one in our community that I've read about. But again,
Yeah.
I'm afraid to take it because, I get scared.
Yeah, I mean, if they recommend that, I know that, I mean, I'll tell you, my mother-in-law, she's 84 years old. She's not on one medication. She said that's her thing. She's been doing her whole life. She has a tablespoon and 8 ounces of water. It's the first thing she drinks every single morning. And she is like healthy as could be. That is another thing that Dr. Hyman recommends that you do. It actually tastes
Maybe I'll mix
good.
it with my honey. I'll take that and then take a honey shooter after.
Exactly. That's perfect. Or grab some hemp seeds and put them throw down afterwards because they're so good. They kind of clean your palate and it tastes nice. Yeah, I don't think the apple cider vinegar, it's not it's not so vinegary because it's in 8 ounces of water. It kind of tastes good and it's excellent for your colon. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Because that's why probiotics are so important now, because it's all about your gut health, how that bacteria is growing or not growing in your gut. And that's why the buckwheat, I'm not sure with wheat, if that's, the honey, if that's a thing in honey or that's something totally different. But that is a great question. I'm going to find that answer out for you.
Thank you for letting me veer a little off because I've always wanted to ask someone.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I think there's a lot of tricks. If you listen to these kinds of doctors in the integrative medicine now, they have a lot of good things that are easy to incorporate and try to, just to shift your health. Anything else?
No, I think you can move on to your next area.
Okay, so I think our next area, we're going to talk about the mask and how do you survive the mask and what's going on underneath. So I'm in a mask for 12 to 15 hours. I'm sure so many other people. I'm double masked and I have a shield on. It is brutal. You know, you come home from there, you can't even breathe correctly. I think as soon as I take my mask off, I have a little piece of gauze. Where did I have my gauze today? I have a little gauze and I spray my antiseptic toner. And we have something called Sleep and Glow, and it has jasmine and ylang ylang in it, which is very refreshing and pleasing to the senses, your nose, your spirit, and really good for your thing. I actually spray it and actually clean my face around my nose because I don't know for you, and maybe this is too much information. Not that my nose is always running, but I just feel like I'm stuffed up and I can't breathe. So I just kind of clean my face here and just like rinse my face with that and throw it away and I'm done and I already feel better. The mask. So I think if you're breaking out from the mask and you're using a lot of serums or moisturizers, cut them in half, especially around your chin. I hear from a lot of patients that it seems to be the nose is breaking out and the chin constantly has either pimples that are really deep underneath that feel hormonal, or you're just breaking out from there. I would omit everything from the top of your nose, except if you're oily, wash your face really good in the morning with a glycolic cleanser and use a toner that's a glycolic toner. What that does is when you clean your face with glycolic, it actually slows the sebum down. It tells your brain that you have enough hydration, but you didn't strip it. If you strip your skin, your body is actually your brain actually tells your skin and your body to produce more sebum to protect it. So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure you're really cleaning your face at night or in the morning. Glycolic acid to me is the workhorse of any face. I've been doing glycolic peels, glycolic acid, literally for 30 years. The great thing about glycolic acid is it acclimates to your skin. It universally acclimates to what you need. So if you're a person that has T-zone breakout, it will absorb the oil, clean out the pore, and calm it down. If your cheeks are dry and irritated or sensitive, it will exfoliate that dry skin and take that top horny layer of dead skin off so it's smoother. So it works. Most products can't do that in tandem on your face. They're usually more designed for one skin type or another. Glycolic is definitely that one product that will clean your face and exfoliate it better than anything else. So if it's a glycolic, we have a system called the MAP system that was really designed for acne. We're actually changing it to the balance because what people were finding is after the acne was gone, they could still use this system. It just cleans that system. So get a glycolic pad, something with glycolic and salicylic, that's our MAP pad. And just if your chin's breaking out or your face at the end of the night, come home, rinse your whole face with the pad and just leave it alone. This isn't a time to overuse things if you're in the mask a lot because it's breathing in here. It's just like a humidifier. You're breathing and talking all day and it has nowhere to go. So if you're putting a moisturizer in your face that's for hydration, it's just exacerbating it. If you use any hyaluronic acids, I wanted to talk about this today because I get a lot of questions for this. When I became an esthetician, everything was hyaluronic acid. And it is a wonderful ingredient because it holds its weight in water by 3,000%. Meaning, if your face is a little wet and you put it on, you're going to have that much more hydration. The problem with it is the molecular structure is very large and it lays on your face. So with that, an HA and a mask, you're going to get melias. And melias are those little white, hard bumps under your skin that you can't squeeze out or get out for anything. They're there and they like you and they want to stay. So unless you're really cleaning your face at night with like a glycolic pad or glycolic cleanser, you're going to have a hard time with an HA. So I would stay away from products right now that have a lot of HA because I just think it's just too much for your skin right now. Even if you're naturally dry, I think it's a little too much. Does anybody have any questions about the glycolic? Because I'm going to go on to retinols. No, we're good?
Nope, we're good. I'm
Okay.
good.
Okay, good. So that's glycolic acid. So glycolic acid is the workhorse to your face, to keeping it clean, to keeping your breakouts, your post-pandemic masks, all those things. The thing that everybody should use starting in your 20s is a retinol, Retin-A or retinol. So Dr. Kligman from Penn invented Retin-A. It's a wonderful product, but it's very difficult to use because Retin-A has no slip. So most people put it on their face right here. They start to move it out. And guess what? There's none left. So they add a little bit more. And then you have more. You're good for a couple days, but then in about 5 to 7 days, you all of a sudden have this red, raw face. And then you stop using it to heal. Then you try to use it again. It's this back and forth, love-hate relationship that you can never kind of find your perfect groove with. Hence, retinols come out, the derivative of a timed release. We have a trifecta serum. Trifecta serum is our most popular product because it works. It's timed released. So what it starts out at a 0.075, and as you sleep, we have you use it at night. It really releases into your skin to a full percentage. Retinols are the thing that stop you from aging. I shouldn't say stop you. I should say help you to age better. There is no anti-aging. We are all aging, whether we like it or not. So you want to do things that can really give you longevity. Through my career, patients that started using retinol in their 20s and use it now look a million times better. Hands down. It's kind of like a cumulative workout for your face that if you consistently use it, and consistently, if it's a trifecta retinol that's timed release, you can use it every night. If you're using straight Retin-A, twice a week. Don't go longer than twice a week because then you run into other problems. You get sensitivity. Sometimes people get ocular rosacea. You get rosacea. You start to get sensitivities in your face because it's too strong. I actually, through the winter, starting in September through about to June, we have our patients use trifecta serum. It's a, serumish. We actually have them mix the Retin-A, a little pea size of Retin-A, put the trifecta in your hand and add a little pea size of the Retin-A, straight Retin-A, in the mixture and then apply it to your face. Retin-A is best used in a vehicle if it has glycolic acid or it has a time to release retinol. When Dr. Kligman taught us to use Retin-A, he liked glycolic. We used to have the glycolic serum, the pea size of Retin-A, and we would mix in hydroquinone for spots. And that was like the triple threat of how skin would clear up. If you had acne, if you had brown spots, if you had sunspots, if you had wrinkles, fine lines, acne scarring, acne marks, all of those things, Retin-A changes. Hands down, it changes. So it's just finding the balance for yourself on how to use it. The way I described it is very successful for our patients. We really have no problems with patients using it. Now, if you're going out in the sun to the beach, you should not be using straight Retin-A. You will burn because you don't have any dead skin on your face anymore. It removes the dead tissue. It removes the skin. So does it cause you to burn? No, it's not the cause of the burn. The burn comes from not having all that dead skin on your face anymore. I would suggest starting with a retinol. It's excellent for underneath the mask. If you're trying to clear up your face, it'll just start sanding everything down. That's what we mean by resurfacing. When I say it's a resurfacing product, what I mean is you might start to see wrinkles and fine lines or acne marks or sun damage or just things. I hate to say this, but you start to get some barnacles. You get things that have been around on your face for a long time, and it starts to clear that palette for you.
Nice.
Nice. Any questions about that? Retin-A, retinols?
Beth, I have a question.
Okay.
So should you use retins only with a professional, or is this something that you get over the counter or get through you, or?
You can get it from me. So the trifecta serum we do sell on our website, and I'll tell you the code now. If you want to call me for a consult afterwards, You can order it if you're a patient of ours, and it is safe technically. We just like a little bit of control with it to help our patients manage it and get the most out of it. If it's straight retina, you do need a prescription. You do need a prescription for that. We have it here in our clinic, and most places you could get it from your doctor, your derm. It's not something that's really going to hurt you. The only problem that I would foresee if you're having skin products, if you've been on Accutane and you've been on it within a year, you cannot use any of that. It's too strong. If you've been on Accutane, you need to take a year hiatus from any of this stuff because you will instantly burn your face.
Wow.
Yeah. Accutane is a very serious drug and it does wonders, but there is a little bit of a downside afterwards. You have to be really careful because you're severely dry and sensitive.
Okay, thank you.
Are
You're
you going
welcome.
to talk about rosacea at all?
I can. Whatever you
Please?
want. Please.
Because I'm a
Talk about that
mess.
now.
Oh, for years. So,
You've had it for years?
yeah.
Okay. So do you eat
I
a lot
always
of
thought
dairy?
it was because my father told me I didn't need makeup. All I needed to do was pinch my skin. I
Oh,
come
really?
from that generation.
Did he pinch you too much?
He made me pinch me.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't think that's why you got rosacea. I think some people are just have a propensity to have rosacea, but what I found with most of my patients that come in with rosacea, it's vascularity, it's inflammation of the vessel. So if you truly have rosacea, you usually have a red little mark along here, and usually you have little pimples. Is that what you have? No, are we on mute? Yes.
Yes, it's
Okay.
yes. I have been diagnosed with true rosacea.
Okay. So what I would worry about, I would be careful of. I would use things that are very calming. Colloidal silver is a great product and ingredient to help you calm down. But I would really be concerned about what your products are. Many patients come in with true rosacea. You have to remember now the shelf life for products is about 7 to 9 years. So if something's lasting for 7 to 9 years, I don't know. It doesn't
Yeah.
sound too good for you, right?
Right.
We found a few years, probably about 10 years ago, lots of patients were coming in with a lot of irritations. And what we found was companies were allowed to then increase their shelf life. They did, and patients were getting just irritation because if it has parabens, if it has formaldehyde, if it has those things in it to preserve the products, it's not too good for you. People will come in and say, I'm allergic to glycolic. You are not allergic to glycolic. Glycolic is purified sugar cane. It's distilled, it depends on what the vehicle of the glycolic is. You're not allergic to it. You're allergic to the other things preserving the glycolic, the other things that they're adding into it. Now, with rosacea, should you use glycolic? You can, but you have to be careful. So I would use things that are very calming to your skin and that are for rosacea. They're kind of benign things, creamy, calm, like creamy gel is probably better for your skin than total creams. But things like colloidal silver, lavender, things that are made, we have a whole line that is made for sensitive skins. That's the category you're in. But I would be more cautious about, and I'll tell you there's a product, and I'm going to say what it is because I could do a whole campaign about this product. And in Philadelphia, it's called P50. P50 has phenol in it. And in Philadelphia, it has a cult following. It drives me crazy because when you use it, you can barely smell it and handle the smell. But people like it because it's burning your face. They think that it's so strong and so active. It's doing all these great things. If you take the phenol out, they actually took the phenol out of it. Nobody buys the original, the 1970 version. They buy the original with the phenol because they think that burn is healthy. It's formaldehyde.
Oh my
It
God.
preserves dead frogs.
Oh my
Like,
God.
it is not good for you.
Oh my God.
So, but guess what? It smells when people use it. They're like, I can barely breathe. That's not even good for your lungs.
Oh my God.
Right? And so many people were getting rosacea and all these inflammatory things. Well, guess what? It's like a chemical being used on your face. So what's in the product? Listen, I don't believe in all natural skincare products. I like all natural things, But all natural things are not going to change your skin. If you have acne, if you have a wrinkle, if you have cystic acne, I'm sorry, you need something behind it that's going to work better for you. But that's what we did at Avery Graham. We took the clinical science and we married it to Mother Nature's great stuff, her decadent natural discoveries. We took out the parabens, we took out the formaldehyde, and we married these two things. And that's why it works so well, because what you're not getting in science, you're getting in nature. And what you're not getting in nature, you have the science to back it up and change the skin. So that's what I would really look for the rosacea.
Are you going to give us your website and everything?
Sure.
Wonderful.
Sure. Yeah. It's my Philadelphia office is called Avery Graham Aesthetics, and my website is just averygraham.com. And
Avery
if any of you, AVERYGRAHAM.com. And any of you here that have joined in tonight, if you'd like to personally talk with me about something and you want a private little consultation afterwards to talk about what you need or where you can get it, any way I can help, I will list it. I think, Myra, we're going to send out an email. You can call me personally and I will help you, walk you through whatever you need to do, to have you have more health in your skin and your body.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I think we were going to go on.
Premier
Myra?
esthetician in Philadelphia.
I'm sorry?
And that's why you're the premier esthetician in Philadelphia.
Well, thank you, Myra. Thank you. So should we go on to the SPF? We went through the glycolic retinol, the mask. Do we want to talk about SPF?
Yeah, I think it would be helpful with summer coming, especially
Okay.
with the masks. Like everybody's so concerned about wearing sunscreen, but now you're going to have sunscreen with a mask.
Right. So I'm going to say something that's very controversial, but I have Dr. Andrew Weil to back me up on this. We agree on this. So I wholeheartedly, you can probably see I'm white as a ghost. I don't tan, I burn. If I go out in the sun, I just burn and get whiter. I peel. I'm hopeless in the sun. And I really don't like the feeling of sunscreen because it smells, it's sticky, it makes you break out, it gets your hair all goopy. It's just I don't like it. But we created for plastic surgery a physical block. And that's what I like. For your face and your neck, don't use a chemical sunscreen. It's not good for your eyes. It's not good to smell. It's going to make you break out. Look, the best of sunscreens, they're laying on your skin to protect your skin. You really want zinc and titanium dioxide. That's it. Our Noble Shield 58 is a Noble, that's all it is. It's those two things. It has a little bit of a tint in it because it'll cover some imperfections. It's great as a foundation. You can actually even use it as a moisturizer if you want. So I believe wholeheartedly, in sunscreen, if you're going out every day and you're in the sun. But I do want to say this. So many people are vitamin D deficient because they're not out in the sun enough. So, you can get more units of sun being out in the sun just for your arms in 10 minutes that you could ever eat or drink or take. The sun is what makes us healthy. We were made to go out and work outside and get sun and go to sleep when the sun goes down. And there's still truth in that. So I think under the mask, if you're getting up in the morning and you're going to work and I do not see daylight, you don't need SPF every day. If you're on the weekends and you're out walking and you're out playing and you're doing whatever, you need the SPF on then. So I think to stop the breakout with the mask, I would omit it, or I would omit your moisturizer and use the SPF that's tinted as your moisturizer and your protection. I think that's a trade-off you can do for underneath the mask. It has a lot of good coverage. It'll feel nice for you. It'll feel like it's killing a lot of, birds with one stone. But sunscreen, generally, aside from the mask, if you're a person that's out, if you walk by yourself, or you're doing whatever, and you don't have a mask on and you're outside, you need to have SPF on. all the time, especially if you're using a retinol, a time to release retinol. Glycolic's not really going to make you burn, but as your skin gets healthier and resurfaced and it's tighter and firmer and you're not breaking out, you're going to see that you burn a little bit more because you don't have all that dead skin. You don't have that protection. Yeah. Any questions about the SPFs? Oh, let me tell you this, why it's a 58. So the FDA approves 15. And why they approve up to 15 is because that's what they say per square inch. If you're looking at it per square inch, that's the kind of coverage you need. And that's what they indicate for you. Why you see a 58, 100, is it any stronger than a 15? Not really, if it's used properly. Most people do one little squirt and then they rub it on their whole face and that's it. That's not how it has to be used. You have to think of it as a block. You don't want it so sheer. Put it on a little heavy, let it sit for a minute, and then kind of tissue or rub the rest in. You really want to make sure you're covered. Listen, the other thing is skin cancer is on the rise. So if you've had a bad burn, the likelihood of you having a skincare, a basal cell, a squamous cell, a melanoma, pretty good chance. So that's where the sunscreen, if you have children, your odds, if you use sunscreen from 0 to 18, you reduce your risk of sunscreen by 97%.
Wow.
That's significant. Now, what we're finding out about melanomas is that has a whole genetic component to it, possibly. So that's not going to say you're never going to get a melanoma. But I would say, when patients come into me, the first thing I ask them is, have you had a skin check? Because it's truly the one thing, and we say this about most illnesses, but if you have a little dot, and I'm going to use your face, if you have a little dot here that starts to bleed, it looks like a pimple, it's coming and it's going, it might be a basal cell. Go and get it checked right away because they could just burn that off. If it sits there and it grows and grows over time, a basal cell is not going to kill you, but it can deform you. If you have to have this cut out of your face, it's not going to be too nice to have it on your face. Men commonly get them up on their foreheads and on their heads because they're golfers, they're outside, their hair's thinner maybe, they're just more active there. Melanoma is more known to be on men's trunks, their front and their back of their chest. Women, most melanomas occur on their legs.
Wow.
So know your own body. If you see something changing, go in there and get it checked out. And don't assume the doctor, look, it's a lot going on a body. If you see something that's changing and just doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Now, if you have something that's bleeding and feels like a barnacle, it could be a basal cell or it could be an AK. AK are actinic keratoses. Everybody gets them. You might start feeling like on your arms, you have a little dry patch. They just come with time. It's from dead skin, keratin skin, sun damage, aging. They're barnacles. They can just be burned off. They can be, with your esthetician can put some glycolic. Sometimes that removes it. But it's just good to know what they are. Don't let those kinds of things. The best thing about skin is getting it checked and making sure you are healthy and safe. I mean, even with melanomas, I had a patient that had it on her foot the other day. It was a little dot. She didn't even notice it. The doctor didn't. Said, I don't know. It looks fine to me, but it was a melanoma. But it was caught so early, it's not even an issue.
Great.
So make sure you're covering your body. For your body, I always tell people, if there's something you like, I like water babies because you can go in the water, you can swim. Get something that really covers you. People like Blue Lizard, those kinds of sunscreens for your body. But for your face and your neck, think of sunscreen as skin care.
Right.
You're caring for your skin. You don't want chemicals next to your eyes and around your face. It's going to make you break out. It's not going to feel good, and it's not going to really help your skin. Any question about sunscreen?
So
No.
just quickly, my moisturizer, which I've used for decades, has an SPF, I think either 15 or 30 in it. I think 30. Good, bad, indifferent.
So is it enough? So none of our moisturizers have a sunscreen in them. And the reason I don't like a sunscreen, in I think it's pretty good that it has it in there. What I don't like about it is usually a chemical. And when I go to bed at night, I want the purest, healthiest moisturizer on my face. I don't want sunscreen when I go to bed. I don't want it near my eyes. I want to have the most refreshing, you know, all of our moisturizers have vitamins in them. They have phytonutrients. And if you put the chemical sunscreen in, it's changing the molecular structure of it, which changes the delivery and the result. So for me, I don't like them in there. I layer them. I have my moisturizer and then I put my SPF in the morning. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. And a lot of, obviously, if you're using foundation, a lot of makeup foundation, most of them have SPF in them. But it doesn't always mean it's the best quality. So I don't know that I would give it up. But I think if you're having rosacea, if you break out, if you're getting cystic acne here, I would really prefer a moisturizer that does not have the sunscreen. Because look, if you need moisturizer in the day and you're putting the mask over top and it has SPF in it, it's an extra something you don't need underneath the mask. If you're going outside and you're active and you're going to the beach, you need to have SPF. And I don't feel that the moisturizer with the SPF is enough for outside activities. I think you need a sunscreen on your face and your neck. And, you know, and don't forget to do your ears. So many people get skin cancers on the top of their ears because they forget their ears. So make sure when you're putting it on, you're going out bicycle, hiking, whatever, make sure you just put it on your ear. And you should put it on at home. Put it on before you go to the beach. Put it on before you go for the hike or the bike ride. So I don't think it's a bad thing that it's in it. It's just not my number one go-to because I always want to preserve the skin and do what's best for the skin and then add as an added benefit if I need it. If I don't need it, I don't want it on there. That's just my philosophy. It's not right or wrong. So I think it's good that you have it in there. But if you're having any skin problems or rosacea, especially rosacea, because the chemical would bother your skin. Anything else?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So if there's no other questions, we're going to start closing up. We're just coming up to the hour.
Okay.
Any other questions before we? I'm sorry?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay.
Karen,
Uh-huh.
she was mentioning a spray that she used.
So the spray that we use like for after the mask on the
Yes,
gauze.
yes.
So that spray is called Sleep. We have two, actually. One is replenishing toner and one is called Sleep and Glow. So Sleep and Glow was derived out of the replenishing toner because so many patients like that. It's kind of just you drizzle it on. I always use gauze when I use that, not cotton, because the gauze, we have something called graham gauze that we made. When you drizzle your toner on a cotton pad, if you notice, it all goes to the bottom and you're using this little top to get on your face, and then you're using more and more. Gauze evenly distributes it and you don't use as much. So in the morning, Sleep and Glow, that's what I prefer. It's kind of like the mother to replenishing toner. The ylang ylang and jasmine in it are like pure essential oils, and it's in a spray. How I use it and why I designed it this way is when you go to bed at night and just say you had your trifecta or whatever serum you use at night or your moisturizer. I like Sleep and Glow like kind of on your bed stand. I actually spray it on my pillow. I spray it in my hair, on my face. When you add a moisture, any moisture content to a serum or a moisturizer, it magnifies it. But I thought at night when I was doing this one night, I was like, you know, it would be so good to have something that would calm me down. So that's where the jasmine and the ylang ylang, it's so pleasing to the senses.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so when you breathe in, it'll calm it down. But that's why I really prefer probably the Sleep and Glow for the gauze and cleaning your face afterwards.
Good, because as Myra knows, I'm a concierge for a senior living community.
Oh,
I'm in the mask straight 9 hours. Like,
yeah.
you know, I don't even get lunches anymore, unfortunately. So it's kind of like I have to remember every time I go to drink and stuff. So as soon as I get home, that would be wonderful because I struggled. I did get
Yeah.
into a non-allergenic one now, so that's much more comfortable because I had trouble with my lips, not my face, but my lips.
Well, you know what? I was just thinking when you said this, and if you want to email me, any of you, email me
Yeah.
at info@Avery Graham. We have a lip balm that we made for Penn.
Ah, okay.
It's all organic. It's like my go-to. I wear it under, I haven't worn lipstick in a year. So
Right.
I don't wear it under my mask, but I always have my lip balm on. And actually the lip balm, when you put it on at night, I actually put it
Yes.
all around here.
Yeah.
So put it on your lips, put it on above your lip and go to sleep. It has no fragrance. It's really nice. It's for my brother was in the Navy for 30 years and he flew helicopters. And the whole crew, they were addicted to these lip balms. They're just easy. It looks like a chapstick, but it's all organic. It has distilled, mercury-free, you know,
Oh, great.
beeswax. So when
Right.
we make the beeswax on it, we just purify it. And they're really good. I'll send all of you one for free. Just
Oh,
if you want to email me your address and just tell me that we here at info@Avery Graham, I'll get the email. Just introduce yourself and I'll send you one. You'll love it. It's so good for under the mask. And then if you have something like a lot of times, because I'm in gloves all day, I actually take one of the lip balms, just put it on my hands at night too.
that's what I do too.
Do you? Yeah, it works.
Yeah,
It's
it
like a
does.
cheap little hand
Yeah,
cream.
the cuticle. Like,
Yeah.
if the cuticles get dry, I put that on the cuticle and it's so amazing.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
patients love it. I have one patient that she like kind of puts it right in here. I'm like,
Oh,
don't put it inside your nose.
Yeah. 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 That's and actually I could send you, I have different variations of it, but I'll send you the Sleep and Glow lip balm. It's really nice.
oh, nice.
Yeah, it's good, but I would just keep it with you and definitely have it under the mask
Oh,
because that'll
wonderful.
really help your lips because when you're not wearing lip glosses and hydration, and it's good for men too. You know, anyone can use it.
Great. I can't wait to get on and order all this.
What is your name?
I'm Karen Morgan.
Okay, Karen.
Yeah,
We're
definitely gonna be coming to see you.
Beth,
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Beth, I'll email you a list of all the participants. from
Perfect.
today,
Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
So you have everybody's name.
Okay, that's great. And if you want to email me any questions, or you can email me in, and then I'll give you my you can have my cell phone number. You can call me at the office if there's any questions you have or how I can help you in another way. And let me just say this one other thing, because we talked about this the other night. There is another product that if you're having problem with any healing on your skin, and it's not a product of ours, it's called Fate. Fate is like a we use it for post laser, but I have found during this time that sometimes if you need something, if you're really getting raw under that mask, like we have a lot of nurses, I have 2 nurse practitioners, you know, with the K and the N95 mask, their skin was breaking down so much. I would have them use Sleep and Glow and then the Fate. So I can send you samples of that, whatever, but it isn't a product of ours. We do carry it. But I think if you're in the nursing home environment, I actually think for you, if you could take that mask off, if you get 5 minutes and just spray your face
That's
with
what,
Sleep and Glow,
that's
you
what
would
I'd
feel
love
so
to do.
much better. Yeah,
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking too. Wonderful.
that's what I do. Because it just kind of makes you feel like, oh God, I can breathe again.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Beth,
Yeah.
this has been so wonderful. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you and the presentation tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm not used to doing these, but I really enjoyed this tonight. Thank you for making me feel so welcome and comfortable.
Thank you so much. This has been wonderful.
All right. I hope to hear from you guys soon.
Thank
and
you.
let me know how I
Thank you
can
very
help.
much.
Okay, good. Have a good night's sleep.
Yes,
and make sure
you
you have your
too.
honey.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna go
Take
drink
care.
some retinol because I need to be younger.
Okay, no problem. I got that covered. That's easy.
I need all the help I can get.
Oh God, all of us.
So this
All
is
of us.
wonderful. Thank you so much.
All right. Take good care.
Thank you.
All right. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good
Bye-bye.
night, everyone.
Thank you.
Jesse, I'm glad you were able to make it.
Oh, here. Oh, I see him now.
Hi, I can't hear him.
I can't hear him either.
You're still muted, Jesse.
Yeah, that's so funny. And I know Sharon had to call in because she couldn't hear either. So I see,
Oh,
Sharon, are you able to unmute and say hello? Don't know. Sharon, are you able to hear us?
no.
No, Jesse? Yeah,
I think I'm unmuted now. There we go.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, it's funny, Sharon, because I could see it. It just kept saying, searching for audio. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Sharon is also in Florida and she is just starting the process with NCA. So I actually had her information in my phone, so I sent her a text message and I was like, "You're not alone. Keep trying to connect." So she ended up calling so that she could listen in. So
Well, thank you.
We could
Thank
hear
you for
Jesse
persevering.
earlier.
yeah, Jesse, we could hear you earlier, but just not right now.
Hi,
Sorry.
Jesse.
Hi, Jesse.
Okay, we can see you wave. I don't know sign language, but how are you?
Oh, I can hear something very loud.
I know, me too.
It almost sounds like like one of those old accountant registers.
Yeah, it does.
Wait,
Yeah.
I'm
Sounds like he's sending a
myself.
telegraph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just felt old.
Oh
Yeah.
God, buddy.
Well, I'm glad everyone was able to join in.
Yeah.
Myra, I will be catching up with you and then our next Ed Committee meeting is May 5th, I believe.
Okay.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we'll have to try and get in touch with people and see who else we can get who maybe wants to join the Ed Committee.
We'll send it to you, Jesse.
Yes.
Oh, Jesse.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm going to bow out now also.
Okay, great.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
Buddy.
Jesse.
Bye-bye. And
Call me,
you.
Jesse. Call me and then I can talk to you.
Like
Bye-bye.
the soccer
Have a
players do.
wonderful evening.
oh my goodness. All righty.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Myra.
Beth?